Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Conversations. We're coming to you at a special early time today, so we'll see if my brain is completely functioning at this moment. But I'm so excited to have my friend Isaura here with us today, and we're going to be talking about what it looks like to tailor your personal style around your personal brand. And this includes things like your personality, your goals, where you're trying to go in your career, and being able to put all those things together in a way where you get to dictate what you wear instead of being like, oh, I have to wear this because I should, blah, blah. And you know me and shoulds. I'm not a huge fan of them. So we're not going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about how to puzzle all these things together in a way that feels right for you. And just a reminder for all of you who are joining us live, please let us know that you're here. Pop into the comments and let us know what you think about the conversation. In other words, get into the conversation. So share your thoughts, your questions, your insights, your ideas, something that you've realized about how potentially you use style and what you can do differently going forward to feel a little bit more empowered with how you show up, whether that is in person or online. So before we get started, let's do a little introduction to my good friend Isaura. So she is coming to us from France, you guys. So it's afternoon there. She's ready for the day where we in the North America, especially on the Western side of it, maybe not so much. But she's here to answer all your questions. She's got her brain turned on. So any questions that you guys have about personal style, please pop them in the chat. Good morning, Tim. Good morning, Lydia. We're glad to have all of you guys here with us this morning. All right, Isaura, one of the things I'd like to start with is when it comes to personal style, what is it that drew you to help people not just tailor their style, but to tailor it around their personal brand?
Well, so I use personal brand and style strategies to help women create a positive professional image. So it's really focused on the workplace. And something that I noticed is that most women struggle to look professional in an authentic way, in the way they look, based on what they wear. So that's my purpose. My goal is to help them create that professional image, positive professional image, so that they can increase their influence, build trust with their audience, and make an impact in their career or business, but in a way that feels authentic, strategic, because of course it's the workplace, it's not a hobby, and impactful.
I really love this concept of impact because I think, and maybe it's part of the conversation, but I think it's something we can focus on more in the conversation in terms of what does it look like to use what you wear to create your impact, and not just to create impact, because that's kind of a generic term and there's lots of different reasons people are trying to create impact, lots of different arenas that people are trying to create impact. And so I know you have this like nice little bubble chart of where we need to start with our personal brand in order to make that impact. So where's the one place that we should really center the conversation in terms of tailoring our style to fit our personal brand?
Yes, so I would say straight to the point, you need to start with the inner work. Um, People tend to focus on the outside. So I hear a lot of women saying that they want to look like this or wear that kind of clothes or, the perfect outfits. So perfection is a scam. It doesn't exist. We are all humans. So to to convey a positive image of yourself that feels authentic, you have to start from on the inside. Um, and that means knowing who you are. And I know, again, like it's same with impact, people are going to say, okay, but where should I start? There's very simple way when it comes to knowing who you are is just asking yourself why. So when it comes to style and clothing, just ask yourself, okay, so why am I attracted to that kind of clothes, like those specific items? Why this color? Why did I put this outfit together? um, what was my intention, when I did so, and how do I feel? Why do I feel like this way? So I know it's a lot of questions, and it doesn't come naturally when you start. But the more you know the intention behind your outfits and the feeling that certain clothes brings out from you out of you, you are going to be able to focus on the positive feelings that you want to feel every day, because we don't want to to feel bad. You're going to be able to repeat that. And this is what is going to help you feel more confident. And people, when I say people, it's people around you or your audience is going to feel that you feel confident. It's
Hmm.
going to resonate with them.
Yeah. I think this is a really interesting point because for me, my experience anyway, like, whether or not I feel comfortable in my clothes in terms of comfort on my body, but also comfort in at like how other people see me, plays a huge role in the confidence that I can show up in. And something that's really interesting, because I know you do a lot of styling for professional women, and a lot of us, me in my past as well, was like, well, what that means is I wear a suit, right? Like I have to wear a suit. And I'll tell you, I love a good blazer and I love a skirt, but
Mhm.
like a suit was just like never really me. And every time I had to wear one, like I would go to client meetings and things like that, I just like I don't know. There was a break between like who I am and how I was able to show up as the most confident version of me, because I was wearing these clothes that I thought dictated the most confident version of me, but they really didn't match at
Yes.
all. So in your work that you do, Izara, with people who are kind of in that transition, right? Or maybe they're moving from working in an office space to working from home. What are some of the I feel like we're probably going to go back to why questions on this, but what are some of the why questions we can ask ourselves about the clothes we don't feel comfortable in, so that we can start to learn a little bit more about the clothes that we do feel comfortable
Mhm. That's a great question, and you took a great example as well, the blazer. So I know that in people's mind, wearing blazer makes you feel more, make you look more professional. Um, but there's other ways, to look appropriate at work without wearing the blazer. And if you have to, you can still infuse your personality in it. So maybe the shape will look different. Maybe the color is going to be different from your colleague or competitors. The length. I mean, there's you have so many options, um, to look appropriate and still authentic. And for people who are now working from home more often, this is actually a great opportunity, because you don't have to wear the same outfit for the full day. You can change, you can adapt with, the meetings that you have during the day, and you can explore more. You can spend more time going through your closet, try new outfits combinations, and see how you feel. And at the end of the day, we want to keep the clothes that makes us feel comfortable, confident, and professional. Professional
absolutely.
is not enough anymore. We've been told that when we want to get a job, we need to look professional. Okay, but we want more now. The first step is to look appropriate, of course, but we want to know more about the person we are connecting with. And this is why people should not be afraid to tell more about who they are. There, again, different ways to achieve that, but don't be afraid to share your passions to your colleagues or to your audience. This is what makes you more human. And at the end of the day, we are more than just our jobs. So if you want to connect with people on a deeper level, you need to be more vulnerable and to to open more and tell more about who you are.
Yeah. Well, I'm all about that. Being your authentic self. And I think it's interesting here because Denise is sharing that she's been trying to wear dark red tops as part of her brand. And it just is funny because when I think about quote unquote professionalism, right, which at some point someone defined as like black and white and sometimes gray, you're like, the world just doesn't exist in those colors, right? It's almost like we're being dictated to remove our color to be professional. And for those of you who know me, I'm just like not about that, right? I'm not about us removing our color for anything. I am about us being our colorful selves as much as possible. And maybe that means dark red, right? Like I have one red shirt and I just have the one and it's amazing. And every time I wear it, I feel awesome. But one of the things I've realized about my brand, as you guys can probably see if you've been watching these lately, I like to wear my hair different. And for a very long time, I was like, okay, well, people want to see you the way your profile picture looks. So I need to make sure that I have my contacts in and my hair down and all of these things. And I was like, the thing is I don't like showing up the same all the time. I like to braid my hair sometimes. I like to wear my glasses sometimes. I like to wear big necklaces sometimes. I don't like to wear them all the time. And so I think this concept of someone explained it to me once in terms of they were talking about like dress codes in corporations, but I incorporated it into myself because I'm an entrepreneur, that your style welcomes people into your brand culture. Right? And this is what it's like here. It's come as you are, feel free to do you. And I feel like that's a very accurate reflection of my brand. So it was really interesting for me to explore how does that actually show up in my style, in my hair, instead of what really is that traditional, I'm going to go and look the same all the time.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we've got some awesome comments coming in here too. So Denise is sharing, when I was having a hard time mentally, even while working, I wore things that made it look as though I didn't take time to present myself. Now I found a happy place both mentally and I present myself. And I think you guys heard it at the beginning, right? As our share, this starts from the inside. And we have to take that first step. And that first steps are always risky, right? But we have to take that first step to show up a little bit of who we are. And then once we realize, some people have really hardcore dress codes, and at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to do too much about that. But maybe you can wear snazzy socks or cool accessories or things that are still. I like to use this example actually because when I was young, I went to private school and we wore uniforms, and so everybody had to wear a light blue or white shirt and then a navy blue cardigan and navy blue pants or skirts and then either black or brown shoes, right? So it's like pretty regimented in how everybody looks. But something I did, which I didn't realize at the time was like a reflection of my bigger personality, was I always wore white shirts with a really big collar, right? So everybody wore just like the kind of plain old, like normal collar dress shirts. And I wore like big floofy collar dress shirts. And I was like, this is my way of showing my personal brand within the confines of what this uniform dictates. And so it's fun to even explore those types of things. If you're working in an environment where you have a strict dress code, there's probably things that you can still do to get that kind of inner confidence, because a little bit of you is peeking through.
Yes, and this is what
Yeah.
is going to make the difference.
Yeah. Tim is sharing that we don't often think of clothes being an extension of vulnerability. So that is a great point, because a lot of times we dress a certain way because we feel like that's how we're supposed to look. That's how it should be, right? And like, pros and cons of looking at it as a vulnerability, right? A lot of people are like, no, I can't show up vulnerably. But look how much more connection is available when you do that, right? Or someone sees you wearing crazy socks and then they're like, oh my gosh, I love crazy socks. Or my husband has this pair of like octopus socks. They're like black socks with big orange octopi on them. And I'm like, these are the coolest thing. Like, what a conversation starter, right? This is a great pair of socks. And it's I don't know. It's just, even little things. And vulnerability, choose to call it vulnerability, choose to not call it vulnerability.
Yeah,
It's
and
still a great extension of who you are.
when you are an entrepreneur and that are you want people you want to get noticed, like by your audience. This is exactly what people will remember about you: the socks, the color, or maybe uh, the nail color. And again, so you some people would say, "Oh, I'm not a creative person. I don't know what to do. I don't know how it works." But we can find a way. There's always a way, you know, to look different and still you. To
Well,
feel
yeah, and I think it's kind of like by nature, if you look like you look different, right? Because we all look different and we all have like the different things that we feel comfortable in. And I want to address this comment too from Denise, that she's traditionally a White House black market gal, which is a store, fantastic store in the United States, that has white and black, right? Everything is white and black, because she's stuck with black, white, and gray. And here's the thing, you guys. I'm wearing a yellow shirt today, but a lot of times I'm wearing a black shirt or a white shirt. I like the neutrals too, and so there's a difference though in picking it because you like it, because you choose it, versus feeling that. There's a really great example once that someone shared on our Be a Human in Business show, which is on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. But about how they had this gray suit when were in university and they were interviewing for their first jobs. They had this gray suit and wore a gray suit to all of the interviews, right? Gray suit, white shirt, and just like weren't getting any jobs. And they were like, I just like it was like the suit was constricting her from sharing her full self at the interviews. And then she shared about how she wore the gray suit, but she wore like a flowery top with like a tie at the neck as the shirt underneath instead. And she was like, oh my gosh, I showed up with so much more confidence and I got the job, right? So it's just really interesting. It doesn't mean that like, hey, you like a gray suit, go to town on your gray suit, right? Like, power suit's still a thing. The point is, if it makes you feel like, boom, you can walk into a room and kill it, then great. And also, if you like, I will tell you guys, my favorite outfit is this like big gold skirt that I have. It's like knee length, A-line. It's got pockets and all these things, but it's like this shiny brocade gold skirt. And I like to wear it with just like a white tank top and a denim shirt. And I'm like, I feel like for whatever reason, this says everything I want to say to people, right? Like you can have pizzazz in the way you want, and you can also be casual and you can incorporate all these things. And that is up to you, right? Like have fun with it. So Izar, actually maybe talk to us about that for a minute in terms of like how having fun with our wardrobe, because you talked a little bit about experimenting. So what are some of the ways you would recommend us maybe to play with our wardrobe to find what fits for us?
Yes, sure. So once you know what you like and what you don't like, the second step is then to create outfits, right? Because we need to dress every day. So what I like to advise my clients to do is to um, create as many outfits as possible. You know, when when they are free, when they have time, and to wear the clothes on and to take pictures, so that they can create their own notebook and they can decide whether they like the outfit or not. And this is great, especially when for some reason you have inspiration. You just go to your folder and look at the outfit that you already created in the past and select one and done. You're ready to go. Another thing is to incorporate accessories because most women tend to wear, tend not to wear, or just a little bit accessories. So, like play with volume, big necklace, short necklace, you know, earrings, not earrings, different type of earrings. And this is the same with, how you style your hair as well. And, some people might say, I have short hair, I have not as many options, but you can you can find ways to have fun. So yeah, just be try to be creative and practice, 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 and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun for sure.
Yeah. It's I mean, we talk a lot about practicing things on the show, and this is just another thing, right? And I don't know. So I once had like an afternoon off once because I'm, working mom. um and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like put on one, like I'm gonna take anything out of my closet that doesn't fit me. So I'm gonna like try everything on and then just like do this little fashion show for myself, right? And it was really interesting because what it showed me also was like how so many of the things that I hadn't put together could match or like could go together.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, now I can wear this. Like I'm wearing like kind of black and gold pants right now with this yellow shirt, and I'm like, oh yeah, this totally works. And so when you can kind of create that space for yourself to just to play and have fun and get rid of anything that doesn't feel like you anymore. I think this is I'd love to talk about this because then we have like quite a few moms in the chat right now, and so one of the things you mentioned, not sure what it was, so I'm not sure if everybody was on, but this concept of, especially if you work from home, you have the ability to change your outfits throughout the day. And this is something, when Azar told me that, I was like, of course I can. Right? Like, why? I was having all of this anxiety about trying to get dressed for like a LinkedIn live, knowing that the next thing I'm going to do is go play with Nicholas. And I'm like, well, I can just change. I'm at home, right? So that permission and that freedom was like super helpful for me. But one of the other things that was really helpful for me, like I went from being an executive to being a mom to being an entrepreneur, and I had this wardrobe of my executive self which didn't really reflect me anymore. I had this mom wardrobe of kind of schlumpy clothes that no one, sweatpants and tank tops and all of those things that are comfortable and good for playing in the backyard, but not really appropriate for like a LinkedIn live. And then I didn't have anything in between. So it was an exercise for me to go in and say, like, okay, like that's not me. And you guys, I had to get rid of a lot of really pretty dresses that I was like, I did used to love wearing these, but like, when am I going to wear this? I'm never going to wear this. Someone else might as well wear this pretty dress. And I kept a few of them because I'm a big fan of just like wearing clothes that, or keeping, even having clothes in your closet that bring you joy. Every time I look at this, I'm like, yeah, that's like my gold skirt, right? Like I love this. And I wear it like maybe twice a year because I'm not going to wear it around the house to play with Nicholas. But um, just kind of giving yourself that permission to say, that was a different version of me. I don't need to wear those clothes anymore. I can find something that is a good reflection of me now.
Yes, and style is a journey. It should supports the woman that you are today or about to become. So it's totally fine to one day open your closet and look at your clothes and say, I don't feel wearing what I have right now because it's not me anymore. That's totally fine. It's not a failure. You and I'm just going to talk a little bit about the closet because when I ask my clients or new things or ask women in general, um, so there's these statistics that people know that most women only wear about 30% of their closets, their wardrobe. But when I wanted to know what what do you have inside your closet, so most of the time you have so what you really like to wear, so between 10 to 30%. Then you have obligation, what I call obligation clothing. So everything that you feel forced to wear to go to work because it's appropriate and professional and blah blah blah. You also have sentimental clothing, like things that you keep because it has a specific um, story, a specific link. But you might not wear them anymore, but you're not ready to let them go. A lot of just in case clothing, have this maybe when I lose some weight or maybe when I go somewhere. And you also have occasion clothing. So when you mention like the beautiful dresses that you love that you just wear twice a year. So this is what I mean by occasion clothing. And the idea, of course, is to have at least, let's say, something around 80%, 80 to 90% clothes of that you wear because you love them. So, from 30% to 80%, you see the work. Um, but this is not that far from which, as long as you do the work and you know exactly why you wear those clothes. And another thing, because we're talking about work, um, it's important as the first step to wear things that you really love, that you feel comfortable in. But you also have to take into consideration your audience. People who have an impact on your career or your business. And so I hear a lot of this is just about me, and people are going to love me no matter what. But you still have to be really strategic. This is the second layer. First, you start with what you like. So you are able to say, this is what I like, this is my style, this is how I define the personal style, it's this, and this. And then, okay, this is my position, this is my expertise, these are my goals, and these are the kind of people I want to attract. And for that, you need to think, to be in their shoes, to anticipate the visual elements that they are expecting to see you wearing, so that you can build trust easily. I agree that this part is not that easy, and because you're like, okay, what she said at first has to feel authentic, but now I also have to deal with what people are going to say, what they are expecting from me. Um, it's still authentic because it's still you. You're still at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to say, I'm going to wear this. But the intention is not just only about you, it's you and them as well.
Yeah, I think this is a really interesting concept, and I'd like to play with this for a few minutes because if you look at it from like I don't really want to use this word, but this was coming to me as like a dictatorship position. So like now other people are dictating what I wear. That that's not so much the point, right? But when you're looking at humans show up in community with other humans, right? We have conversations, whether that's online or in person. We're at a gala event, we're at a wedding, right? We're playing together in the backyard, right? Like I like to look at it as if I'm wearing a ball gown to play with Nicholas in the backyard, then he's gonna think I'm not ready to play with him. Accurate assumption, right? I'm not taking this dress in the sandbox. Just not going to be a thing, right? And when you think about it like this, you're like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Like I can wear a t-shirt and shorts to play with Nicholas in the backyard, and I can wear a ball gown to a black tie wedding, and the t-shirts and shorts that I choose are an accurate representation of me. In fact, I don't like shorts at all for whatever reason. They do not feel comfortable on me, so I prefer to wear like knee length capri type pants. But like that's me because it feels comfortable. But those are my play clothes, right? And these are my occasion clothes. And I still like the one ball gown I have, which legitimately I wear to every fancy event, and I will never have to buy another one because I love this dress so much. But it's like blue and purple, kind of like someone threw colors at you, and it's got like a flowy one shoulder thing, and it just is like one of my favorite things to wear. But I'm not going to wear it to play in the playground because that's not right for that moment. It's not right for that place. It's not right for that audience. And so if you think about it like that, I think it helps not have so much like someone else is dictating what I wear. Like it's not like LinkedIn dictates what you wear on a LinkedIn live, right? Like they don't care if I'm wearing a sweater and a necklace or if I'm wearing a ball gown, right? Like I could wear a ball gown, that would be fine. That's not what I'm trying to say right now. So when you take that like core piece that we talked about of like being the authentic you and take that to the next step of now there's other people interacting with you and you are expecting them to interact with you in a specific way, then just use that still as the core. Don't erase the core, but expand that to how can I communicate to Nicholas today that I'm ready to play in the sandbox? Awesome. All right. We have a lot of great comments again in here. So Lydia was saying that's where she's at too. I don't really have a need for some of my teacher clothes anymore. So she's looking to adjust her closet. So you need to connect with Isaura because she will have lots of things to help you do that. And what else do we have here? Christina was sharing that she really loves jewel tones that make you feel confident. I have recently, you guys know what? Fun fact. So I went to, my husband and I celebrated our 5-year wedding anniversary a couple of weeks ago, and we went to have some photos done. And my photographer was like, do you realize that you wear yellow in all of your photos? And I was like, oh, no, I didn't. And sometimes it's like yellow boots, and sometimes it's my gold skirt, and sometimes like I was wearing this sweater once, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Let me explore that. And I was like, you know what? Because yellow makes me feel sunny. And when I go to get my pictures done, I want to feel sunny because that's the vibe I'm hoping that will be caught in the photo. And I was like, this is so different. When I wear my red shirt, I feel, I don't know, not specifically holiday-y, but like jolly and fun and playful, right? And these are and that's just me, right? Like that's not, red means that you'll always feel playful, right? Like that's something that is relevant for me. So when we look at these things and just explore for yourself, what do I like? And don't, and try not judging yourself for what you like based on what an industry likes or what Tracy likes or what Isaura likes, right? Like that's irrelevant. This is about what you like. And sometimes we need to explore because for a long time we've dressed a certain way because it was dictated to us, and now we get to explore and play, have fun to explore those other things. Now Tim is going to go get some snazzy socks. His snazzy hairstyle with the bald head will be something that we can we can explore next time potentially. Oh, I just gotta say, Famike here is wearing a beautiful pink jacket in her profile picture, and I love that. That is saying lots of things about your personal brand. And this is the thing too, right? And this is where how other people see you, right? Other people see you. This is the point. Right? Whether you're a job seeker trying to find your next job in a career transition, or you're a consultant or a coach or an entrepreneur who's trying to stand out in a market where, like, let's be honest, there's lots of us in any given market. One of the things I really love is that Lydia shared somewhere up here that my glasses, like, she just like struggles with, or she associates my glasses with me. And I'm like, that's great. When I wear my hair up in a top knot, my son says, now you look like mommy. Because I wear my hair up like that when I'm ready to play, right? And I'm like, oh, this is kind of cute. It's just something that is really interesting. I want to go back quickly here because Tim had a question. I know Tim had to leave, but I'll tag him and he can come back and watch the rest of it. Could you tell us the mindset you suggest when someone is purging their closet? So if you're like, okay, all this stuff is not good for me anymore, what kind of mindset or what kind of narrative helps in that?
So I'm going to talk about first about the process, because this is really important. Make sure you have enough time to go through your closets and get rid of what you're not going to keep, like the day, like today or the very next day. Because some people will say, okay, so I get rid of this, but I'm going to put them in the garage or in a box, and it's still there. No, you can donate the clothes. You don't need them anymore, so they're going to go. Let them go. And then ask yourself, okay, so who am I now? When I went through my closet, I get rid of this because it's easy. So now, how would you like to show up in this the world? Um, who am I? Who is this new person, this new version of me today? And how can I? Because most of the time when you put your closet, you realize that a lot of things are missing. So how can I complete the things that I kept with the right piece that support my message, that support the person that I am today. And this is how you start thinking of the visual elements that support the person that you are today. So let's talk about your personality. Let's say you made a list of 10 adjectives that illustrates who you are. And maybe in the list you have I am a caregiver person. Okay, so how could I show up and make people understand that I am a caregiver person? I'm sure to help them. So maybe it's going to be blue color. So most of the time it's blue. Maybe it's going to be an accessory that's is going to show that I am a mother. So I am a mother, and maybe I'm going to wear like a bracelet that's my daughter made, so that when I move, when I speak with my hands, and people can see the bracelet, they can say, "Oh, I'm sure this is a young person who designed this. So maybe she's a mom like me." Boom, you have a connection. You see? So it's all about the intention and the person that you are. So it's not about a narrative, it's again like the inner work. who am I today, how I would like to show up, and what kind of connection I would like to create from my image.
I think that's so good. And one last thing I'll add to that is that this is our personal brands are an evolution, right? We're different. I was a very different person before I was a mom. I was a very different person before I was an entrepreneur, right? And so some of those things just don't reflect the current version of you, and
Mhm.
that is because we evolve and change. It's not bad. It's not like we're supposed to stay the same. It's
Mhm.
just, and I'll be honest with you guys, I have a hoodie that I have had for probably like 20 years, and it's like the coziest thing, and it still feels like the thing I want to wear when it's cold outside and I need to be cozy, right? So not everything is going to change all the time, but
Mhm.
I mean, I think a lot of moms have this. Like and if you don't, then amen to you. But I went up a pant size after I had my son, right? And for a really long time, it was like really hard for me to deal with mentally. And then I was like, you know what? This means I can buy new pants that one are more comfortable for my new body, and two make me feel not like I am fat because wearing pants that are too small, it makes you feel like that. And then you're like, oh, this is, that doesn't make you feel good. Right. So,
Mhm.
like, I can find new things that fit the new version of me. And it is, when we look at it as an evolution, I explained it once as like, even if I tried, I couldn't go back and be the 6-year-old version of me, right? I can't be that short. I can't be that small, right? Like, it's not possible. I can't go back and be that. So why would I spend mental calories wishing that I was that? Because it's not possible, right? And so when it comes to mindset, a lot of it is just really about embracing where you are today, and knowing that that is where you're supposed to be today. And where you were yesterday was different, and that's part of your journey. But where you are today is different. And all we can do today is dress the body that we have today,
Yeah.
and give ourselves that permission to, like, and again, sometimes you'll have a couple of pieces. Like, I have my shoes from my wedding, and I will probably keep them forever. And I wear them again, really once a year because they're sentimental to me,
Mhm.
and they're blue and they're cool. But anyway, like, I'll probably keep those forever. And that's fine. I get to decide, right? But I'm also going to have different shoes 5 years from now, right? Like, and so it's, I don't know. For those of you who haven't heard me talk about it before, I believe that personal brands are a mosaic, right? So they're not. We don't grow linearly as humans. We grow like mosaics, and we get all these neat little pieces that add to our picture over time. And when you have, as you get older, you get more pieces to your puzzle, and then you have different ways you want to combine those pieces into how you show up for the world, which is your clothes. And so that's a beautiful thing. Mosaic is beautiful. And being able to focus on that type of mindset instead of being like, oh, I wish I could still fit into this, or I wish I would I wish I was still in corporate, which I never ever think that. But that's because there was a time in my life where that was what was right for me. And it's not that it was wrong either. Like, past version of me wasn't wrong. It's just, it's not the same as current version of me. And give yourself that permission to let that evolution happen. We could talk about this for probably a very long time. But let's wrap it up for today. Thank you all, you guys, for getting in the chats. If you guys haven't already connected with Azara, she is tagged in this LinkedIn live, so you can just click on her name, connect with her, send her a message. If you guys want to chat about style, she'll chat your ear off about style. Is there besides a LinkedIn, is there another place that it would be great for people to come and find you?
Wow. Of course, they can find me on my website, isaura.sama.com, or Instagram, which is at isaura.sama. Yes, this is where I interact the most with yes.
Awesome. So check out Isaura's website. Check her out on Instagram. If you guys want a connection, just reach out to me and I'd be happy to connect you to her. Just so many great insights about how we can incorporate all of these pieces of style, all the expectations of style from your own perspective and the external perspective, and being able to bring them all together in a way that feels authentic for you is such a beautiful place to get to, as well as being able to keep those skills so that when inevitably your personal brand evolves in the future, you have the ability to go back and do it all over again. And it feels a little bit easier the next time. Thank you guys so much for joining me in the conversation today. So excited to be here. I hope you guys find some more permission in your style. And with that, until next time, permission to do you.